Welcome back. We are rounding third and heading for home here. It's Module 6, last module of the course. I hope the semester is going well for you, and I hope you're enjoying the course. A couple things I want to mention up front is if you're starting a business or you're working on innovation or something in your company as you move along, feel free to contact me. I would love to hear from you. I'm happy to help any way I can. And stay involved. So if you just want to check back in and tell us how you're doing, I'd love to hear that too. Module 6, just a little bit of reading and Born to Build to finish out. The couple pages kind of recapping the book, Build Your Way Forward. Some thoughts on that for me would be that I really believe entrepreneurship is a behavior. I've mentioned this a few times throughout the course. It's for everybody. I really believe that. I think we get caught up in this notion that, well, entrepreneurship is just for people who want to start for-profit new ventures. And yeah, that's a piece of it, but it's not the only piece of it. So it is for everybody, and it's a behavior, it's a mindset. It's a way of thinking, it's a way of living and behaving. So I think another thing to point out is that innovation, entrepreneurship, creativity, those things are nothing without application, without action. And it's like, can you imagine Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak if they had built the desktop computer or the cell phone, the iPhone, and they said, oh, that was fun to build, but we're not going to do anything with it. I mean, they would have deprived the world of that technology, that life-enhancing product. Of course, it happens. There are inventors who don't take their products to market. But I think it raises the question that I love from this book, which is, what are you building? So conceiving a business idea or a product or a service, a business model, a business concept, those are very important, and it's the first step, really. But if you don't put it into action and build something out of it, what's the point? So that's I love that question from the book. What are you building? I think it's a great question to ask yourself every once in a while. What am I building? What am I here for? Why am I doing this? What's my purpose? What am I building? This module, we finish out a couple of the kind of supplemental content areas is creativity and innovation. And I think it's a great ending to the course because you want to constantly be reinventing and innovating and checking, could we do this better? Is there something that we could leverage that we're doing to build more business, to build something better? So I think that's really important. I think it's a great ending. I also think, and you'll get this in the video, and make sure you watch this one, you're going to get common language and some tools that are really helpful whatever you end up doing. The two builder talents, two entrepreneurial talents that we're looking at in this module, profitability would be the first one. And hear me on this, because I'm in an academic environment in the university, and when you mention making money or profit, people tend to cringe in our environment. That might surprise you. But it's like this taboo phrase. So I want to give you kind of what the book talks about, but then I want to give you some more insight that I've gotten in talking to Sangeeta Badal, one of the authors of this book, and also just some of the other chief scientists in entrepreneurship and in the entrepreneurship research at Gallup. I want to give you a little more insight than what the book gives you on profitability. What the book talks about is just what you would think profitability, where the person that is dominant in profitability talent is profit-oriented. They have very clear goals and metrics. They want to measure progress. That makes sense. Very growth-oriented, and they're just fascinated by numbers and money. Okay. Now I want to give you the additional insights, and it's really simple. It's not real complicated. But what the research says about people that are high in profitability, it's really deeper than that. It's not as shallow as being about money and profit. the deeper piece of it is stewardship. It's stewardship of resources, stewardship of the opportunity, stewardship of the investment that the owners in the business or the company's made or the organization has made. It's about stewarding your time, your resources, your talents, your people, everything. So it's really deeper than just being about profit. So if you're kind of hung up on that profitability, I mean, in the business world, that's a key thing. You got to be profitable to be sustainable. But think of it as stewardship. It's stewardship of everything that's an asset and an opportunity in the business or in the organization, in the nonprofit, whatever it is. Some of the blind spots of profitability, you could lose sight of your customers and employees. You got to be careful not to push too hard and overemphasize the money side of things. And I think the way you do that is you constantly remind yourself to place value on the dedication and the work of your employees and how it contributes to the vision and mission of the business. And so if that's something you're not as strong at, my suggestion would be think back to last module when we talked about delegator talent. Work with a delegator that can see talent and value it and appreciate all the different contributions and have them kind of be your cheerleader on that front. Same with the next one we're going to talk about, which is relationship. It's the last one we're going to talk about in the course and obviously in this module. But people high in relationship talent, very high social awareness, like they understand their surroundings and the people around them. They're able to attract kind of a following or a constituency. Very good at building mutually benefiting relationships. So good partnerships there, if you think about it that way. They will use relationships to attract talent and resources for the organization or their project or their team, whatever the context is. One thing that's interesting about people high in relationship talent is their relationships and the strength of that will tend to go beyond work, which you could see some of the pitfalls of that. But the pluses are that you have really good trusting relationships with your people and they know that you care about them as people. Great leadership stance is when you know about your people and you know their family and you know what's important to them, you know their hobbies, you know what time, maybe it's really important to them to leave at 4 o'clock because their kids get off school, whatever. You just want to know those things. And they're really strong in interpersonal skills. I think delegator from last module, relationship from this module, tie in really well with the creativity and innovation video you'll also watch for this module. It's a great tie because it's all about people and their unique contributions, their unique perspectives, their ideas, and how you honor those and how you manage the process of innovation and how you are constantly using the input from your customers and your partners, your vendors, your employees, your team to shape and reshape the business. So I think it's a great way to end the class. It's also a really good fit when we think about those two talents that one we covered last module, one we covered this module, as a way to really wrap things up, because the next step really is when you build something is to make it sustainable, improve it, grow it, constantly innovate. So I hope you've enjoyed the course. Like I said, feel free to reach out. I'd love to hear from you as you progress in your careers, as you progress in your academic career and professional career. I'd love to hear back from you. I hear back from a lot of students, and I really enjoy that. So I'd love to hear back from you. And if you have questions along the way, I'm here to answer them and happy to work with you, and look forward to that. And if you have any questions in the meantime, let me know. Have a good break.